G'day everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm going to be going over my round 7 AFL tips and predictions, as well as reviewing round 6 to see how many tips I got correct and all the big calls. Apologies again for getting this out a little bit later on the Wednesday. If I had a proper excuse I would tell you, but I'll be honest with you, I was just a little bit lazy and I didn't end up getting it out because I had other stuff on. Quickly before I do get into it, less than 50% of everyone watching my channel is not subscribed. So if you're watching this and you are enjoying the content as well as the other things I produce, subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 20k. Yeah, help a guy out and subscribe to the channel. So we'll firstly review the tips. Round 6 was, well, for pretty much everyone, a good week. I mean, let me know your tips down below, what you got. I'd assume most got 7 or 8, I'd say. But it was the worst week, honestly, to get that Omegle punishment to where random people did my tips, because I got 5 out of 9. And I'll be honest with you, as bad as that is for a round that most of the favourites won, it could have been a lot worse. I was forced to tip GWS, I was forced to tip the Bulldogs, which I would have tipped anyway. But then, if it wasn't for Omegle, I would have got the next 7 right. I tipped Port Adelaide, I tipped Carlton, Geelong, Gold Coast, Melbourne, Sydney and Collingwood. So, the Omegle pricks, they let me down, but it could have been worse, honestly. Like, it could have been even worse than 5. So, I guess I'll take it, but not really. That wasn't great. My big calls, I didn't get the 3. I only got the 1, and the one that I got correct, which I'm actually pretty happy about, was the Port West Coast. I successfully called that this game would be a smashing, and I just had a feeling that the Power were going to turn up their gears against a lowly ranked Eagles outfit, and they got the job done by 86. So yeah, we're going to spin a wheel to see what punishment I have to do out of the punishments from last week. So the 3 punishments were the most likes that I can see at the top. The first one is Zayden YT. Tip the team with a lower percentage, 98 likes. I'll be honest with you, I don't really want to do another punishment where I've got to tip teams that I don't want to tip. As much as I'm probably not going to catch up the ranks now in the tipping, it's a bit too late. I actually want to genuinely tip, so hopefully that doesn't land on that. The one with the second most likes is a footy fanatic. Go to a Bulldogs game with a leash and get someone to walk you in and tell security is your therapy dog. My goodness, people will see me there and think I'm an idiot. And then the third one with the most likes is Sporty DOS. Punishment to watch the 1 to 1000 every Buddy Franklin career goal on your live stream. Alrighty guys, we're spinning the wheel. Where do we land on? And it is the Buddy Franklin. Okay, so the first time we've actually got one where the one with the least amount of likes in the top 3 got chosen. So if I can find the time, and I know I said in my last stream that I'm a bit busy this week. If it's not this week, it'll be next week. Probably on my second account, More Card Man. So I'll leave a link description if you want to go and check that out, because that's where I upload other content that I wouldn't upload on my main, even though I haven't really been uploading on that in a while. But there we go, Sporty DOS, well done. But yeah, that's it for the big calls. Let's get right into round 7. And the first game on the Friday night is between West Coast and Richmond. This doesn't look like it's going to be a very good matchup. West Coast look like potentially the Wooden Spooners, along with North. They look like the clear 2 worst sides in the comp. They got done by the Power, who were even yet to win a game, by 84. So you can't really give too many excuses to the Eagles. I know they didn't have a great start of the season due to the luck with injuries and COVID, but this game they had majority of their players back, 75 to 80% of their full strength list, and they just looked like they didn't really want to show up to the contest. They didn't really care. They didn't show any hunger or fight after quarter time, and they're in a bad position right now. The Eagles, I don't know what's next for them. They're definitely going to have to look into rebuilding. Richmond are another side who have been pretty disappointing this year. Everyone well, a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, Richmond are going to be back. They're going to be back to finals. Look, it doesn't look likely. They were average against the Ds. They should have lost that by more. I think everyone watching that game can agree. It was a poor game. Half-time, they were in the contest. In fact, they were in front. They should have been down, and, you know, Melbourne won by 22. They never really looked like they were in the game after half-time. Look, both sides aren't in great form, but Richmond, they're more proven. They won this game by, I'll go 24 points. I think 4-goal game. It'll be a really boring game to watch, honestly, and my big call will be that the margin doesn't exceed 20 points after quarter time. I might not even switch this game on. It could be a really bad one. The next game, which I think will definitely be a bit better, is Geelong v Fremantle at GMHBA Stadium. Now, the Cats, they pulled off a pretty good victory against North Melbourne, but you can't really take too much out of that game. I mean, they're versing North. North are one of the most uncompetitive sides so far this season. You know, they get done by 10 plus goals every week, it seems like. And Freo, well, they had a really, really impressive performance. They're one of the informed sides of the comp. Freo have impressed me so far. They beat the Blues by 6 goals at home. And for 80% of that contest, the Dockers were able to play the game on their terms, particularly after quarter time. I'm tempted to go the Dockers here in a bit of an upset, but I feel like the Dockers are due for a loss, and this is the hardest road trip in footy still. Geelong at GMHBA. No one can seem to beat them there. I think Geelong win the game, though. They're more classy, experienced, and just a trustworthy tip to go for the Cats at GMHBA, but it'll be fairly close, I reckon. And I'm going to go the Cats to win it by 14 points. And my big call will be that Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins combined for 2 or less goals in the game. Fremantle's defence is rock solid, one of the best in the league. Next game, we've got Adelaide taking on GWS at the Adelaide Oval. The Crows are one of the informed teams in the comp at the moment. They're 3-3. They just beat the Dogs by a point at Mars. I don't think many would have predicted that to happen. And the Giants are on the opposite end of the scale. They are 1-5, looking pretty hapless at the moment. They're not looking like a finals quality side. They got done by the Saints by 17 at Manuka. I was there. They were pretty good in the first half, but then they just slipped away in the second half. The Saints got back to the game, and even though they dominated the hitouts, I think they had 51-1 after half time because we lost Hayes and Marshall. They weren't able to do anything with the hitouts, and Bruce and Flynn didn't have a great impact in that front. Well, the Crows, if we're going to be basing this on form and due to the fact that it's at Adelaide Oval, you've got to tip the Crows. I mean, they're 3-3, could be 5-1 if they did beat the Bombers and the Dockers, who they lost to them by under a goal. I think the Crows deserve my tip. It'll be a fairly decent game, close one. Adelaide by 8. The big call will be that the Giants kick 4 or less goals after half time. Now, not too sure why on ESPN the only game that shows the percentage of tippers is this one, but it's between Melbourne and Hawthorn at the MCG. Melbourne, they've won their last 13 in a row, 6-0 so far to start the season. Kicked 9-22 against Richmond last week. Should have won that game by 10 goals, but they are cruising at the moment. They are on autopilot, honestly. They don't really have to do too much to get the job done. And this one looks like another lock almost. You can't lock a team to win any game, but I mean, Melbourne, they look like a complete side. And they're going really well. They're travelling extremely well, looking like they're winning the flag this year and going back to back. The Hawks had a disappointing game against the Swans after three-quarter time. I mean, they kicked the first 5 of the game. I didn't watch this, but it was 32-0. But they just dropped off. Did they run out of legs? Were they just worn out? Their defence seemed like they were worn out definitely after three-quarter time. They leaked 9 goals in that last quarter and lost the game by 41. I think it was a 73-point turnaround from the time they were up by 32. You can't tip against the Ds in this one again. You'd be a very, very brave man to tip the Hawks. The Hawks did actually draw against the Ds last year, but you go the Ds in this one. But they'll win this game, and I predict they'll win it fairly comfortably. It's always like a 4 to 5 goal win. The Ds usually always have like a 4 to 5 goal win. I'm going to go a 38-point win for the Ds this time, and my big call will be that Bailey Fritsch kicks 5 or more goals in this game. And the next game is between St Kilda and Port Adelaide at Kazali Stadium in Cairns. Another game I'll be in attendance for, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I've never been to Kazali, so it should be good. Of course, the Saints got a pretty good win against the Giants, particularly after losing both of our ruckmen. Or was Marshall? Marshall wasn't in the ruck. I can say Josh Battle was the ruckman for that last half, and he played really well. He was arguably one of the reasons why we won that game, as well as our defence, and of course Jack Higgins. So yeah, 17-point win away from home on Friday night when the Giants had Toby Green back. It wasn't the most classy win, but it was a pretty good win, honestly. And Port Adelaide, they had their best win of the season. Their only win of the season, won by 86 against depleted Eagles outfit. It is a danger game for St Kilda. We are the favourites, rightly so, but Port have found a bit of form as of late. They obviously smashed the Eagles, and that second half against Carlton was really promising for them. I still think we beat the Power. I don't have stupid Omegle forcing me to tip against the Saints this time around. I think we win it, and we go 6-0, or we go 6 in a row. Saints win it by 23 points. With my big call, 125 plus tackles are combined. And the second Saturday night game is between Carlton and North Melbourne at Marvel. 100% will not be tuning into this game, that's for sure. The Blues, well, both sides were disappointing this year. Last week, the Blues, obviously, after quarter time, were heavily beaten by the Dockers. The Dockers were way too strong, and it's a bit of a problem for the Blues now. You know, Mark Pitnet went down, and whenever Mark Pitnet's not playing for the Blues, they're a much weaker side. Paddy Cripps obviously was strong in his return game, but aside from that, there weren't a lot of positives from the Blues in this one. North Melbourne, along with Eagles, the two worst sides in the comp. I think that's a given. I got done by 10 goals against Geelong at Blundstone, but it could have been worse than that. Geelong were inaccurate, and North got a few cheap ones at the end. Went on the North Instagram account, and a lot of North fans were wanting Noble out, so he's not in the great shape. Hopefully they can turn things around, North Melbourne. And this game they potentially could. North Melbourne have won 6 of the last 7 games against Carlton, so they have had the edge over the Blues as of late. But currently, you can't be tipping against Carlton. But they'll win this game pretty easily by, I'd say, 44 points. With my big call, the Blues kick 12 or more goals up until half-time. The next game, we've got Collingwood take on Gold Coast at the MCG, 1st of May. The Pies produced a pretty good win against Essendon. Might not have been their most clinical game of footy, but they took their chances. 15 goals, 3. One of the most accurate kicking displays I can remember, and it's got to be the most accurate display on Anzac Day. It just has to be. Ginnivan, he's a character, isn't he? He kicked 5 on Anzac Day. He won the medal. The one issue after the game would have to be Brodie Grundy. He's going to be gone for up to 3 months due to a PCL. And you'd think they'd beat the Suns in this one, who were okay against the Lions, but they were just average. They weren't able to string 2 goals in a row in that game. Yeah, it just goes to show the Suns, lack of maturity. I've gone all the favourites, and if there was to be 1 or 2 upsets in this game, aside from the last game, I would probably almost go the Suns. They are due a win. They are all right to start off the season. The Pies are without Grundy. The Suns can dominate the ruck with Wits. The Suns have a pretty decent midfield in itself, arguably as good as the Pies, and they beat them last year in the same fixture, so it can happen. It's a bit of a roughie, this one, but I'm going to go the Suns. Not to say I think they'll win, but there's a chance that they can win this, and it's my upset of the week. Gold Coast by 3 points, and my big call will be that both sides get on a run of 5 or more goals in a row consecutively. 2 more remaining games of the round. We've got Bulldogs take on Essendon at Marvel. This shouldn't be the Channel 7 game. It definitely should be Sydney v Brisbane, because these two sides have been up there with the big disappointments for 2022. The Dogs are now 2-4. There are major worries for the Dogs at the moment. There are holes everywhere in their list at the moment. Last year, when I saw their list after they beat the Saints, I'm like, geez, that's impeccable. But now, they arguably have a worse list than the Saints looking at on paper at the moment. The Bombers, they weren't woeful against the Pies, but they should have bounced back for their sake and won that game if they were proven to be a contender for finals, but they couldn't do that. Now they're 1-5. I don't know who's more at stake if they lose this one. I'd argue probably more the Dogs, just because they were in the grand final last year. They were expected to make top 4 this year. It's going to be a tough one. Both sides have weak defenses, so this could be a shootout. Hopefully it is a shootout, honestly, because that would be an exciting contest. But I got to go the Dogs in this one. I think they bounce back strong. It'll be an okay game of footy, but I win it by 27 points. And a big call will be that the Dogs lead by 5 or more goals at half-time. And in the final game of the round, probably the best game of the round, the one that I'm definitely most looking forward to, Sydney taking on Brisbane at the SCG. 3rd v 4th. The odds are pretty much split in between the middle. Obviously, Sydney, after quarter time, they were the better side against the Hawks. They were far too strong. They kicked 9 in that last quarter, and they just ran away with it. Goes shows that Sydney are capable of getting a very quick run of goals consecutively. Not many other teams are capable of doing that. Yeah, the Swans are, and also the Lions are. The Lions were just proven too good for the Suns. It was an expected win, and they just got it done. That was a classy win for them. Bailey kicked 6. I think Cameron kicked 4 or 5. Danaher bobbed up with 3 or 4. It was just a good win for the Lions. They needed to get that win, and they got it done quite convincingly. So this one's a really tough one. I'll lean on the Swans. I think they are a very, very good side at the SCG. I can't remember the last time they actually dropped a game at the SCG. I'll go the Swans by 12 points, and my big call will be that there are 10 or more goals than behind scored combined in this game. So this week I tip Richmond, Geelong, Adelaide, Melbourne, St Kilda, Carlton, Gold Coast, the Dogs, and the Swans. And as we always do, we'll quickly have a look at my tipping comp to see who's leading that. Oh no. Oh, it was a round of a joke. It was the Joker round again. And everyone would have done pretty well for the Joker round, considering that I can see a lot of 14, 16s, which means I would have got 7 or 8 tips. But I only got the 5. So, Banger Harvey in the lead with 58. Wilson Berry with 56. Saints Fan 2007 with 56. Nick Dacos official with 56. And then we've got, a few people with 55. And we'll quickly go to see who did the best in round 6. 4 people tipped a perfect 9. Crows Loyalty. He was loyal when he tipped the Crows. Harry, Half Chat, and B. Joe. Well done, guys. You're doing better than I am because I'm 673rd. Oh my God. That's the tipping comp. We're on 909. Let's get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I'll put it in the description and the pinned comment. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Like the video. And we'll see you soon in my next one. Quick thank you to everyone who turned up for the goal kick challenge. That was heaps of fun. That'll be probably not out next week. It'll most likely be out the week after. So stay tuned for that as well.